Why are we talking about loose stools again?
Find out next on Junk Feud.
Oh, yeah, welcome to Junk Feud, the podcast about junk food where we rate and review mystery treats to determine which one will be the undisputed champion of snacks. I'm your host, Mike. Alongside me, as always, Alyssa.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Liz.
So, I'm so good at sleeping, I can do it with my eyes closed.
I mean, that's not even really a
Yes, it is.
joke.
I'm just...
Oh, hey, I got one for you.
Really?
Liz, why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know why I did
Because...
That's a good voice.
I love that one. That actually was a dad joke that was sent in by friend of the show, Mark, a listener on Twitter.
Yes.
He made me promise that I would say that on the show and that I would actually sell out and do like the big chicken bok bok voice.
Because?
Yeah, it was pretty good, right?
Yes.
And that was a joke you tell to your dad. If you'd like to submit a dad joke for Alyssa to tell me on the show, you can send it in to us via Twitter at junkfeudpod or via email to junkfeudpod@gmail.com. You want to say what? Go ahead.
Welcome back once again to the world's yeetest podcast, hitting them with the Riz each and every week.
Oh, that's right. Each and every week. And last week, Liz, was a great show.
Yeah.
That was a big one. We crowned a new champion.
Mexican Coke.
Yeah, super excited about that. Finally.
It's always drinks. Drinks get it every time.
It is kind of weird. Like, we've
Drinks
barely...
aren't even really a snack.
Oh, hey. You don't think so?
No.
You don't think a soda is a snack?
If you're hungry and you're like hungry, you're not going to go downstairs and grab a Coke.
Yeah, but like, first of all, Coca-Cola...
Or a butterbeer. That's strange.
I definitely have butterbeer as a snack.
Yes, but would you just like go downstairs and be like, I want butterbeer. I'm going to make that right now.
100% for sure.
And you're going to have fluff in your cabinet.
Yeah, and I do the same thing with Coca-Cola. I treat that like it's a junk food, like it's a snack. I'm not like... I try not to have Coke as a drink, like with meals, unless it's something that I'm sort of like putting the entire menu together around. Like a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke is a holistic approach to a meal.
Yeah, like that's what you do. Like you even wrap our burgers in wax paper.
Oh yeah, we do the whole thing.
And he gives us the red soda cups.
That's right.
That you get at the store.
Yeah, when we make pizza at home, we have the pebbled plastic red tumblers like they have at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
You have to do the whole thing, Liz. You have to do it right. That's not strange.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's
you went on Amazon and looked up restaurant red cups.
Yeah, and I had to buy them from the restaurant supply store.
Yeah, strange.
It's a big deal. You want the whole experience. If you're going to do something, you should do it mostly right.
Got it.
And Liz, speaking of mostly doing things right, this summer, we're going to have lots of iconic snacks and treats coming up.
Yeah, like this is the start of some good stuff.
I think so too. And there's only like a month or two of school left for you guys, right?
Wait, what day is this coming out?
Today. It's coming out today, middle of May.
Okay.
Yeah. Liz.
Yeah.
You have big plans for the summer this year?
Probably not.
What?
I don't know.
Don't you like plan ahead?
No, you guys don't tell me anything.
I don't think that's true.
We might go to Florida. That's all I know.
Yeah, we'll probably go visit Grandma and Grandpa in Florida, right?
And then how do I say this? We'll be coming back from California when this comes out.
Or we'll already be back for a while, actually.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So that's it?
Yes.
Like nothing you're looking forward to?
Oh, swimming.
Swimming, sure. Maybe go for some hikes this summer?
No. Hikes are too tiring.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, cheer. Cheer starts in August.
Yeah, cheerleading starts in August. That's a big deal.
I'm really excited for the camp.
You know what's always fun about cheerleading, Liz, aside from cheerleading camp?
What?
When you go to the games, when you guys are cheering on the little boys playing football.
And there's big confession stand.
Confession stand?
Concession stand.
What exactly happens at a confession stand?
You sit there and talk to each other for money.
Yeah. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I'll take a bag of Twizzlers. Hey, Liz. Speaking of concession stands, that reminds me of this week's snack.
Up next on Junk Feud.
It's Lay's potato chips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Liz, what do you know about Lay's potato chips?
You probably know what I'm going to say. Chase's favorite food.
We've had quite a few of Chase's favorite foods lately, haven't we?
Lay's potato chips. We've had Chips Ahoy.
Cheese doodles.
Cheese doodle.
I think we've really front-loaded this show with all the stuff that your brother likes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame because he's not quite big enough to co-host with us yet. And we're already going to have eaten all the things that he eats.
Exactly.
Liz,
Wait, can we have him up when we try them?
He's going to be, it's late. He's going to be asleep. It's past his bedtime.
He's just laying and watching TV right now.
Yeah, hopefully by the time we get out of here, he will actually be sound asleep.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, right?
Really late.
Hey, speaking of hopefully, Liz.
What?
I don't know. That's not a really good segue.
Segment switcher-upper.
Thank you. Segment switcher-upper. Liz, Lay's potato chips are on offer from Frito-Lay, a wholly owned subsidiary of PepsiCo.
The rich people stuff.
Well, I mean, there's lots of rich people that own stock in those companies. It's an enormous food conglomerate. It was started, Alyssa, by a college dropout named Herman W. Lay.
Herman.
Yeah, like Lay's potato chips, named after H.W. Lay.
Slay.
Slay for Lay, that's right. He was...
If your name is Lay, you have W. Slay.
That was a long walk for that one.
You are a W. If your name is Lay, then you slay.
Very good. H.W. Lay, born in Charlotte, North Carolina, he started early, Liz. He got his start selling Pepsi bottles outside of baseball games when he was 11 years old.
You go.
Yeah, good for him. Entrepreneurial skill, that's right.
Make your money.
Later on, he was laid off from Sunshine Biscuits, where he worked during the Great Depression, but that did not dissuade him. Biscotti?
Every time I hear biscuit, I say biscotti.
Oh, hey, so you know how we like Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Well, at the beginning of every show, they do this thing where they roast the co-host, Mitch, and people will write in with different like nicknames for him, subtly making fun of him. And I think my favorite one of all time was when they were doing a show in Chicago and they called him Biscotti Pippen.
Why?
It's so good.
Why?
Because biscotti is a food and Scottie Pippen was a basketball player from Chicago.
Got it.
It's funnier when you explain jokes, right?
No.
No. Well, for H.W. Lay, the fun began when he borrowed $100 and he started his own food distribution company in Atlanta in the 1930s, Liz, and he started selling his own brand of potato chips out of the trunk of his car, a Ford Model A, around Nashville, Tennessee in 1931. That was kind of like the start of Lay's potato chips.
Yep.
Yeah, Liz.
Yes.
What else was happening in 1931?
The automaker Porsche was founded.
Yeah, Porsche. Stop.
No.
Only one person in the world is going to get that joke, and he listens to this show. So, Porsche? What? Porsche? All right, come on, stop.
Huh?
Shout out to friend of the show, Dave. Sorry, that is the most inside joke. I apologize for that. Listen, in 1931, the Empire State Building was constructed.
Yep.
The Geneva Convention entered into force. Do you know what the Geneva Convention is?
No.
It governs the way that you have to treat prisoners of war and so on and so forth.
Got it.
Some very famous movies came out in 1931.
Dracula,
yeah, that's
Frankenstein, and the Maltese Falcon.
The Maltese Falcon list. Do you know what that is?
No.
The stuff dreams are made of.
Stop.
No, that's a line from the movie.
I don't understand anything.
Millions of people have seen that movie. That's not exactly an inside joke.
Except me.
You haven't seen the Maltese Falcon?
No.
Humphrey Bogart?
Nope.
No?
No.
Well, guess what we're doing right after this?
You say this every time. We still haven't watched Mary Poppins.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Well, guess what we're doing right after this?
Dad, it's almost 10 o'clock.
Liz, who was born in 1931?
Let's see. James Earl Jones.
Yeah, do you know who that is?
Nope.
An actor, the voice of Darth Vader? Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear your best Darth Vader.
Luke, I'm your father.
Well, that's just a whisper, really.
You do it.
Should I say my favorite Darth Vader line of all time?
Sure.
No. That was much better. Willie Mays, also born 1931, Liz.
Wow.
Yeah, and William Shatner.
I thought that said Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare, born in 1931?
I guess so.
No, William Shatner, Liz, born in 1931.
Thomas Edison died.
Yeah, Thomas Edison passed away in 1931. R.I.P. to a real one, my friend Tom. That's like one of my favorite parts
R.I.P. to a real one.
R.I.P. to a real one, Thomas Edison. Yeah, one of my favorite parts of Back to the Future when Marty goes back to 1955 and he meets young Doc Brown, and Doc Brown has a portrait of Thomas Edison on his mantelpiece, and he talks to it, and he calls him Tom as if they're like best friends.
R.I.P. to a real one.
So good, yeah. Liz,
Yes.
speaking of going back in time, let's go back in time to find out how potato chips were invented. Do you know the story of the invention of potato chips, Alyssa?
No.
Okay, well, here's the story. Listen closely. It's 1853, Alyssa, in Saratoga Springs, New York. You've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
The houses was there.
The houses was there? Oh, boy.
The house we stayed in was there.
Yes, there was a house we stayed in Saratoga Springs. It was very nice. It was right around the corner from a place called Moon's Lake House, and there was a chef there, and his name was George Crumb, Alyssa.
Crumb.
Yeah, George Crumb, an interesting fellow. In 1853, probably the closest thing there was to a celebrity chef at that time. And George Crumb is cooking over at Moon's Lake House, and as the story goes, railroad tycoon Cornelius Vanderbilt, Alyssa, was passing through town. He's eating dinner at Moon's, and he ordered some fried potatoes, and he sent them back to the kitchen. He said they were too thick, too soggy, not salty enough. So Crumb cuts him some new ones, fries them again, sends them out. Still too thick, too soggy, not salty enough. So George Crumb at this point, kind of pissed. He's insulted by this fussy diner in his restaurant. So he gets some potatoes. He slices them like paper thin. He fries them super hard until they're crispy. And then he just absolutely douses them in salt. And rather than be insulted by this prank, Vanderbilt apparently loves these new fried potato chips that he's gotten. And word spreads fast. People from all over the place come to Moon's to try the new Saratoga chips. George Crumb ends up opening his own restaurant to serve them. American Heritage Magazine calls him the Edison of Greece as an honorific, unless you can still buy Saratoga chips today.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good story, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Liz, here's the thing. Like most of the other junk food origin stories that we talk about on this show,
It's not completely true.
not exactly true. Yeah. So as far as we can tell, George Crumb, actually a very good cook. That part's true. George Crumb also did work at Moon's Lake House, and he did fry potatoes in Saratoga. But here's some stuff that was a little bit weird about this telling. All of the Cornelius Vanderbilt biographers out there dispute the fact that old Cornelius was the fussy diner in this story. There is no evidence that he was ever actually there in Saratoga Springs around this time.
Oh.
And here's the other thing, Liz. There are published recipes, recorded history for what we would identify as potato chips coming out of the United Kingdom, specifically from a guy named William Kitchener's cookbook, The Cook's Oracle, as early as 1817.
Whoa.
Yeah, or excuse me, 1917.
I was going to say 1817.
Yeah, maybe it is 1817. Maybe I wrote that down wrong. Anyway, it's before the George Crumb story. And Liz, even in Saratoga Springs itself, there was a famous fried potato chip cook, and her name was Eliza, and she was operating there as Eliza, right?
And Peggy.
No, just Eliza, not Peggy.
And Peggy.
Okay, and Peggy, yes.
The Skylar sisters.
The potato chip frying sisters. Yeah, she was operating in that area at least 4 years earlier than Crumb was. And in fact, George Crumb never in his lifetime claimed to have invented potato chips. There is no recording anywhere of this contribution to the culinary pantheon from him or anybody else, even Alyssa in his obituary. When George Crumb died, nobody said, "Here lies George Crumb, inventor of the potato chip."
Whoa.
Yeah, none of these claims start until an advertising campaign in 1973 for Saratoga chips. And, there are even competing claims from people as varied as the actual proprietor of Moon's and even Crumb's own sister, who claimed to have invented potato chips before George Crumb.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so who knows?
I guess Crumb?
Yeah, he might. I mean, I'm sure that George Crumb did make a version of potato chips, and they became popular. And he probably didn't know about the recipe from Kitchener's cookbook earlier. This seems to be one of those things where lots of things were happening around the world that made sense, and one story grew to be popular, and that's the one that everybody knows now.
Dad.
Yes, dear.
Have you heard about the Lay's smashed potatoes that people are making on TikTok?
Lay's mashed potatoes that people are making on TikTok?
Yeah, Grammy said she wanted to make them with me.
Okay, well, tell me all about them.
So basically, you just take a whole bag of, Lay's potato chips.
Sure.
And you pour them into a pot with boiling water, and you crunch them up in the thing till it becomes pasty.
Yeah.
And then you add a bunch of other stuff to it.
So you just mix crushed up potato chips in hot water?
Yeah.
And they turn into mashed potatoes?
Yes.
Did you do this?
Nope.
Did Grammy do it?
I actually don't know.
I think she said she did.
Really?
And I think she said it was gross.
Probably was.
And I think also, Alyssa, it was 1817 for the Kitchener cookbook, the Cook's Oracle.
Whoa, you were wrong, Dad.
I know. I wrote it down wrong.
How dare you?
How dare me. But Liz.
What?
Well, nowadays we have Lay's potato chips from the 1930s on to the present day. What is it, Alyssa, that's so special about Lay's chips in particular?
Brand name.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of brand recognition. We know they're pretty good, right?
They're very salty. That's what makes them good.
Well, hold that thought because I think we're going to test that out pretty soon. But I think you're onto something there.
Brother.
Oh, my God.
I love saying it.
They're popular, too. I think that's part of the big deal.
Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I got to grab my Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, and I mean, they were
Let's go watch a movie, hit the gritty.
And eat Lay's potato chip.
Yes.
Liz.
Yes.
Lay's potato chips that H.W. Lay was selling out of the back of his car. Part of the merger that created Frito-Lay, the first national level junk food brand.
Really?
Yeah, did you know that?
No, I did not.
Well, that's right. So when Herman Lay, merged with the company that made Fritos.
Herman W. Slay.
They created Frito-Lay. Not Frito Slay, no, but Frito-Lay.
Frito Slay.
I mean, that would be a good t-shirt, right? Frito Slay.
What's it called?
I don't know.
One day I took Chase's bag of Lay's.
Uh-huh.
And I just took a Sharpie and wrote an S before it, and it said Slays. Do you remember that bag?
I don't, thank goodness.
Oh.
I mean, that's very clever on your part, sure.
Oh my goodness. I have to do that to our bag now.
Well, before we do that, Liz, do you want to hear something else that's clever?
Sure.
Lay's, Frito-Lay in particular, the first snack brand to advertise on television.
Whoa.
Yeah, like the first TV commercials for snacks. Guess what the mascot was?
A panther.
Oscar the Happy Potato.
He was a potato?
Yeah, it was a potato because they're potato chips.
I thought it was going to be like Ronald McDonald.
Well, that's McDonald's, and that's later on. But yeah, starting in 1944 and then extending onto television, Oscar the Happy Potato.
Got it.
It's kind of weird that he would be a potato advertising for potato chips and be happy because he's being sliced into pieces and fried and eaten.
Chase should be Oscar the Happy Potato for Halloween.
Chase the Happy Potato?
Yeah.
He would probably love that.
He probably would.
We just get him like a brown sweatsuit.
And me and Ella would be the Wicked Wieners.
Oh, you're not really going to have to even wear a costume for that.
That's so disrespectful.
Duh. That's like Woody the bus driver the one day when it was supposed to be, what was it, Crazy Hair Day? And you did your hair all wacky and he said, Alyssa, I thought you were supposed to do your hair crazy today. You don't remember that?
No.
Maybe it was Crazy Hat Day.
Maybe.
Crazy Clothes Day?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
No.
No. You know what is a thing, Liz?
Oh, Wacky Socks.
Wacky Sock Day. Sure.
Got it.
In addition to Wacky Socks, Alyssa, a big deal. Lay's potato chips, the best-selling potato chip brand in the world.
Yes.
You already said, Liz, the amount of salt is what makes them special.
Yes.
To me, I think it's three things in particular. We're going to get to this in a moment when we try them. The thinness of the chip.
Yes.
These are like paper thin, like one atom away from being nothing.
Yes.
The perfect fry that they put on them. You never get one that's like too dark, do you?
I do.
You do?
Have you seen one?
A Lay's chip that's too dark?
Yes.
I haven't. Maybe I just subconsciously don't eat them, but I think
maybe you just go...
Yeah, I'm probably just mindlessly munching them.
Mindless munching.
I figured out what the scientific term for mindless munching is.
What?
I don't know. We got to wait till it comes up in the notes because I forget what it is. It's something with an H.
Okay.
And of course, the amount of salt. But Liz.
What?
If you look around online, you might find some people that, even though these are very crispy, very thin, very delicious, very salty chips, there's some people that are a little bit upset about them.
Why?
Yeah. Despite all the things Lay's have going for them, Liz, there are some people that are unhappy that Lay's has been hit with the grocery shrink ray like so many other brands we've talked about.
Why?
The weights of chips inside the bags have steadily dropped over time. So like if you buy a big bag of Lay's, it used to be like 15.3 ounces and now it's like 13 ounces, for example.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, but the prices, Alyssa, stay the same. So you're still paying the same amount for the same size bag, but it has fewer chips in it.
That's kind of annoying.
That is kind of annoying. You know what else is annoying?
What?
On TikTok, people are saying that Lay's chips in particular are a scam.
Why?
Because they put a lot of air in the chip bag, so it looks like you get these really big bags full of chip, but then when you open them up, they're only like halfway full.
Really?
Yeah, but you know what, Liz?
What?
All those TikTokers are right.
Really?
The bags are definitely not full of chips. They're like halfway full of chips.
You know what I saw once?
What's that?
I saw it was a bag of chips, and it said it was like 65% less fat, right?
Uh-huh.
And said that on the bag. And then it was some guy reviewing it on TikTok, and he was like, 65% less fat. More like 65% less chip space.
Well, guess what, Liz?
He's right.
Yeah, but it's on purpose, Alyssa.
Why?
Well, see, the extra air in the bag is not actually air at all. It's nitrogen that's pumped into the bag. It prolongs the freshness of the chips because they don't oxidize as fast.
Really?
And then the additional volume of air inside the bag acts as a buffer against crushing because the chips are so thin and fragile when they're packed out to stores and they're put in boxes and they're sent on airplanes and automobiles and trains rolling over the rail lines. They have to have like an airbag inside the bag, and that's what's going on here. That's why there's so much air and so few chips inside those bags. It's to protect the chips that are inside. It's just like an airbag in your car.
So, oh my God, I've actually never seen a bag with like all of them crushed before.
No, that's right.
Wow.
It's done on purpose. It's not a scam, but the perception of it is a bit off for people that don't know any better.
Got it.
Speaking of perception, Alyssa, the texture, the crunch, if you will.
Crunch.
Yeah, of these chips is kind of a big deal. Here's a little, it's not a little secret. It's not little, and it's not actually a secret. Everybody does this, I think. But it's a very well-known life hack.
Putting it on a sandwich.
Yeah, adding potato chips to a sandwich.
Sandwich.
Adding potato chips to a sandwich makes it better.
And adding that to our Junk Feud dictionary makes it longer.
A sandwich?
A sandwich.
Liz,
What
was
that guy's name? Let's see. Oh my goodness.
Herman W. Lay.
Herman W. Slay.
Herman W. Slay. Liz, I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess, that H.W. Lay was putting his Lay's potato chips on his sandwiches. Probably even during the Depression, if I had to guess. And kids, of course, have been doing this on their own since time immemorial, or at least since potato chips had become a lunchtime side dish. We talked about Doughboys earlier, Liz.
Yes.
Doughboys co-host Nick Weiger says his mom used to put potato chips on his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Really?
You know what? I had never actually done that. So when I heard about it, I tried it last week.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. It's the truth, for sure.
Okay.
Liz, have you ever eaten at a place called Bobby's Burger Palace?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, that's a hamburger restaurant captained by Chef Bobby Flay from television fame.
Nope.
You can add potato chips, like Lay's potato chips, to any burger to crunchify it, Liz.
Got it.
One time I ate at the Bobby's Burger Palace in Cherry Hill, New Jersey when it was at the mall, and I saw Phillies all-star outfielder Dominic Brown there wearing a three-piece suit on game day.
I feel like there are so many new Phillies this year that I've never seen in my life.
Well, this was like 2009.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so it's quite some time ago. Liz.
That was a year before I was born.
That's right, it was. Adding potato chips to a sandwich, not unprecedented in regional cuisine. If you have a Cuban-style pan con bistec sandwich, you might have potato sticks on there for crunch.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like one of those combinations that kind of seems odd at first, but actually makes sense immediately once you try it.
Guess so.
Yeah. You know what else makes sense, Alyssa?
What?
The fact that if you are Lay's and you have the world's best-selling potato chip, you might want to try to diversify your holdings, as it were, by creating different varieties of potato chip flavors.
Yeah.
That's right, Liz. There are lots of people interested in other flavors besides the classic Lay's chips, and in fact, there are quite a bit of these other flavors. Taquitos.net, old favorite here on the show, is tracking 282 different Lay's potato chip flavors around the world.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we thought it was impressive that there have been like a few dozen Oreo flavors or Pop-Tart flavors, but 282 different types of Lay's potato chips.
Whoa.
Yeah, now you can't get them all at any one time. You definitely can't get them all here in the United States. China in particular has a bunch of wacky flavors. But Liz, here at home, you usually can get about 27 or so different flavors, which is still a lot at any one time.
Really?
Yeah, although of course plain chips and barbecue chips take the top two spots.
Take
the top two spots, and it's really not even close.
Really?
Yeah, and if you look online, there are lots of different websites that'll try to get their hands on as many of these chips as they possibly can and grade them out. Thrillist.com says plain is the best variety still, even among all the oddball stuff. And there is a varietal for just about any taste, Alyssa, including some odd ones. Here's some for you. Fried pickles and ranch.
I had that yesterday.
Oh, you did. You had like actual fried pickles and ranch. That's right. Would you eat a fried pickles and ranch potato chip, Liz?
Probably not.
No?
Nope.
Wow, I think that's like a flavor combination that actually makes sense because it's got like a potato base, which is already fried. So it's like the exterior coating on the fried pickle.
I'm good.
You don't like pickle flavored chips, do you?
No, I think they taste disgusting.
Wow, I really like pickle chips. Well, we're going to see what happens when we get to that part of a future episode.
Parmigiano.
Parmigiano? You might have some Parmesan cheese. Pecorino cheese also on top of Chicago deep dish pizza, which is a Lay's flavor. Have you ever had a Chicago deep dish pizza, Liz?
No, I've had a deep dish pizza.
But not in Chicago.
Nope.
Have I
ever been to I have been to Chicago.
I think you've been through the airport.
Wasn't it?
You've been to Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Different city that starts with a C, that's right.
Wait, where is Cleveland
in Ohio.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's right. But you've never had a Chicago deep dish pizza, have you?
Nope.
I've had them from Lou Malnati's, and I gotta say, quite good.
Really?
Yeah, I know there is like a regional conflict between Chicago and New York when people talk about the two different types of pizza, like the big old floppy New York style slice, and then the big like casserole style Chicago deep dish pizza. I think they're both good.
Bombastic side-eye.
Yeah, for sure. Here, side-eye this one list, Chesapeake Bay Crab Spice potato chips from Lay's.
That reminds me of the place in Maine.
Oh, well, if you want to be reminded of Maine, did you know they also have New England lobster roll chips? And if you want to go down south, pimento cheese chips.
Wait, down south?
Yeah, where pimento cheese is a big deal.
Where is that a big deal?
In the south.
Louisiana.
Probably there's some pimento cheese in Louisiana. I've had it in North Carolina. I've had it in Alabama.
How about Wisconsin? The cheeseheads.
Yeah, not pimento cheese, though. If you wanted like cheese curds, maybe up there, sure.
Cheese curds.
If you wanted to go back down south, you could have southern biscuits and gravy or fried green tomatoes. List all of these flavors of Lay's potato chips.
Whoa.
There have been some local ones here, too, like Philly cheesesteak, of course, for example.
Oh my God, the Philly cheesesteak Pringles were disgusting.
Oh, yeah, they were super bad. Guess what we're going to do, though?
What?
We're going to bring them back, I think, for Try Hard at some point.
Dad, I'm going to cry.
And we're up to, I think we're up to
it's gonna be
Try
the
Hard
ranch.
4.
It's going to be the ranch thing all over again.
Well, maybe we won't do the Philly cheesesteak ones because, Liz, there is a new variety of Pringles that's just come out that are, I guess there's like a stew in Minecraft.
What?
Yeah, there's like a Minecraft stew that was made into a Pringles flavor.
Huh.
I think we're going to have to try that out.
Definitely.
Liz, speaking of wacky flavors, we just talked about a few of them, but did you know that Lay's will pay you to come up with new flavors for them?
Really?
Yeah. Lay's, the company in particular, Frito-Lay, subsidiary of PepsiCo, believes that potato chips are sort of like a perfect canvas for different flavors in a way that a lot of other snacks aren't. I think it's like part of the neutrality of the humble potato, Liz.
Really?
The spud, sure.
The spud.
And in fact, some of those wacky flavors on that base canvas of a crispy potato chip were brought to us as the result of a very punny contest, which, hey, that's our gimmick, making dumb food puns, which was called Do Us a Flavorless.
Do us a flavor.
Do us a flavor. Lay's put up $1 million to find some of the best flavors in the world, including some locally influenced fare, like chicken and waffles, wasabi ginger, and even, Alyssa, there was a cappuccino chip.
Like the coffee.
Yeah, like the coffee, that's right. I didn't have that one. It sounds pretty gross.
It does.
I don't know. Like, a lot of these other ones make sense. Chicken and waffles, sure. Wasabi ginger, yes. Cappuccino on a potato chip.
I need to go back to Starbucks and get my matcha.
The cappuccino reminded you of Starbucks, which reminded you of a matcha drink?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Well, Liz, you can find Starbucks in just about every corner of the globe, including places like Main Street, USA in Walt Disney World.
Yes.
You can also get Starbucks drinks in like major sporting arenas and stadiums.
Yeah.
Well, Lay's did something similar with major sporting arenas and stadiums, Liz.
Oh, they have so many ads.
Well, they have a lot of ads. They also had a promotion called Golden Grounds. Alyssa, do you know what Golden Grounds is?
No.
Golden Grounds was where Lay's took specially selected potatoes that were grown in soil that was imported from NFL stadiums. So like they dug up the dirt on the football field and they planted potatoes in them. And then if you really wanted to, and you were super lucky because you had to win a lottery to get your hands on some of these chips, you could get a bag of chips made from potatoes grown in the dirt from your favorite NFL team that your favorite players had run around on.
Are there Eagles ones?
There were Eagles chips, from what I understand. There were like 3 or 4 teams that didn't participate, but it wasn't Philadelphia.
How much money are they?
I have no idea. Probably they're no good anymore because this was a while ago.
I want those.
That would be pretty neat, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know there's a lot of people that collect junk foods? Obviously, there are like, we watch Gabe on Cereal Time on YouTube, and he has a big collection of old cereal boxes.
Yeah.
Liz, do you know I have a cereal box downstairs on a shelf in the office with other sports memorabilia? It's a box of cereal called Jake's Flakes. Do you know what Jake's Flakes are?
No.
Jake's Flakes were a limited edition run of just like cornflakes cereal or frosted flake cereal, named after Jake Plummer when he was the quarterback at Arizona State University. This had to be at least 20 years ago, maybe more than 20 years ago, because my cousin Ashley was a student there when he was the quarterback, and she got me a box of Jake's Flakes.
Whoa.
Do you know I also have a Ken Griffey Jr. chocolate bar from like probably like 1990 or so?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's definitely super, super gross, but I still have it. It's in a plastic bag.
Speaking of 1990s.
And speaking of super gross, Alyssa, if you were unlucky enough to be around in the late 1990s, you could have experienced the following. Are you ready?
Yes.
Abdominal cramping, loose stools. You know what that is?
Poop.
Yeah, for sure.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea, obviously also poop. Fecal incontinence.
What is that?
Well, what does it say right there?
Anal leakage?
Yes, isn't that disgusting?
What's that?
Well, these were the symptoms that were required by law to be listed on bags of Lay's Wow potato chips, which was a snack product in the late 90s made with a fat substitute called Olestra, Alyssa.
Olestra.
Have you ever heard of Olestra?
No, I've heard of Ozempic.
That's true, you have. Olestra, slightly different.
Olestra.
Very good. Very, very good. Olestra was kind of a big deal list. Like I said, it was a fat substitute. In the late 90s, people were like super into the fat-free and low-fat craze. So Lay's tried to make a chip with a fat substitute called Olestra so that people could eat a lot of chips and not take in a lot of fat. And it was actually pretty good for them at first. They did brisk sales in the first year until something really weird happened. What was that, Alyssa?
What?
People started soiling their drawers quite literally right after they ate Lay's Wow potato chips with Olestra.
Dad, you know it's also very inconvenient?
What's that?
That you had steak and frites without me.
Oh, I did. I found so quick aside here. Speaking of fatty foods, when we went to Paris.
This is my favorite food ever.
When we went to Paris, you had steak frites.
Yes.
At a restaurant whose only menu item was steak and fries.
And French fries with an amazing sauce.
Yeah, that's right. It had this really good, like, partially emulsified sauce on it. It was excellent. Very good.
And this old man decided
excuse me,
to leave and go to some Maryland place without me, and then had the audacity to go eat steak frites without me.
Yeah, and it was good too. There was a domestic restaurant, non-Parisian, called Medium Rare that does basically the same gimmick as the steakhouse that we went to in Paris. And it's just, they have one thing on the menu, and it's sliced steak and French fries with a sauce that's poured over it. You know what? This is going to sound sacrilegious, Liz. I actually think I liked the U.S. sauce better than the French sauce.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, everything else was...
Leave my house.
Everything else was not as good as the French restaurant. The steak was not as good. The fries were not as good. The salad was not as good. The bread was not as good. I thought the sauce was better, though.
Really?
Yeah, anyway.
You know what?
What's that?
Next year, when you have to go to France again, I'm coming with you, but only for the steak.
You're gonna fly across an ocean to have a steak.
Yeah, I'll meet Maria again.
Okay, well that's not a bad idea, Liz.
I don't need any room in the hotel. I'll just stay at the place.
You'll stay at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. So that is a dumb idea, Liz. Here's another dumb idea. Olestra was kind of a dumb idea. The sort of the miracle behind it was that the molecules of fat substitute were too large to be absorbed by the intestines. So instead, they just kind of slid right through and came out the other end. Pretty gross, right?
Fart.
Well, Here's the thing, Alyssa. Once some of these diet conscious people found out that you could like void your bowels immediately after eating a large serving of Wow chips, they started actually advocating for binging the snacks to get a colon cleanse.
My God.
Yeah, they said it was a negative caloric balance strategy. So like if you didn't want to gain a lot of weight, you just eat whatever you wanted, and then you'd eat a big handful of Wow chips, and then it would all be gone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so it took Frito-Lay 25 years and $300 million to develop Olestra, and just one trip to the restroom to ruin its reputation forever.
Got it.
And in fact, Alyssa, Wow chips were named one of the 50 worst inventions of all time by Time magazine.
Wow.
Yeah, so no one's favorite chip, probably ever.
I guess not.
Liz, you know what my favorite part of this show is?
Alyssa read the ingredients.
Alyssa reads the ingredients. And Liz, this is maybe like the simplest one for an actual processed food that we've ever done.
Thank gosh.
Yeah, what is in Lay's classic potato chips, Alyssa?
Real potatoes,
Correct.
vegetable oil, canola, corn, soybean and or sunflower oil, and salt.
Yeah, this is just thinly sliced potatoes, fried in vegetable oil, and sprinkled with salt. That's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
You know what else is pretty good?
Let's get to the rules of the game.
This show. All right, let's get to the rules of the game, Liz. Junk Feud is a culinary clash to see which treat will be crowned the undisputed champion of snacks. It's a king of the mountain style battle in which the reigning champ takes on a new challenger each week to see which snack reigns supreme. And Alyssa,
Yas.
the reigning defending undisputed champion of snacks is
Mexican Coke.
Mexican Coke. Liz, we finally have a new champion, and it's a big boy.
That's a knee slapper.
Yeah, Mexican Coke in the glass bottle, our favorite variety of what used to be called Coca-Cola Classic. Finally, Liz, finally usurping the crown from butterbeer.
Yep.
A great run for butterbeer, too. 10 weeks on top, I think.
That's crazy.
The longest reign in the history of Junk Feud.
Yeah.
Yeah, undoubtedly our most dominant champion of all time.
Yeah.
What a run from the former champ. Liz. You brought this up earlier. Is it weird for us to have back-to-back soda champions on this show? Butterbeer
that's
and
strange.
Coca-Cola?
The only the one like real snack was the popcorn and the Oreo.
Uh-huh. Well, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I mean, that's a cereal, but kind of
Yeah.
snacky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, let's go.
Well, I mean, we're going to see if today's challenger can take down the champ. And today's challenger, of course, Lay's classic original potato chips. The original plain Lay's in the iconic big yellow bag. But Liz,
What?
there's more.
Really?
Yeah, I want to see if Lay's is the finest of the bunch when it comes to plain potato chips. So we also have plain chips from Utz, Hers, and Wise.
Why?
Yeah, this is just what was available at our local grocer. If you were in another part of the country, you might have seen something like Golden Flake in the South, for example, or Charlie Chips in the Big Tin, or even Mr. B if you're out in West Virginia.
Mr. Beast chocolate. We haven't tried that on the show yet.
No, because I ate that entire bar that you brought me.
What?
Yeah, the
I
sea
didn't even
salt,
get to
sea
try
salt
any.
dark chocolate Mr. Beast chocolate bar.
I was waiting to try it for you.
It was fine. It wasn't anything special. It was a little bit thin, actually. It was like a very thin like sheet of chocolate, not even a bar, like a sliver, really.
Dad,
Yeah.
I wanted to try that. That's why I didn't eat it at Grammy's house.
Oh, I thought you brought it like home for me.
No,
No, you brought it home for yourself.
for us to share.
Oh, well, maybe we'll find a different variety and we'll try it
Dad.
on the show.
We have to get, don't worry, they're at
Like every
Acme.
convenience store.
No, Acme. They're very cheap there.
Acme, huh?
We have to get the
Excuse me, now I have to bleep that out.
That's what it's called.
All right, Liz, it's crunch time.
That was loud.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's crunch time.
We rate our snacks using a tier list from sprinkles to fun dip.
Sprinkles to fun dip.
So snacks can be graded A, B, C, D, or F, with the very best treats earning the elusive S tier ranking. The following contest is scheduled for one serving
One serving.
and is for the undisputed championship of junk food. Liz,
Yes.
here it is.
Oh, that was scary.
A bag of classic Lay's potato chips.
Why is it so thin?
The big yellow bag. You know what? This is weird, actually, because, yeah, this is kind of strange. We usually buy the giant party size bags of Lay's chips, like 2 or 3 at a time, because your brother eats so many of them. But this is just a standard 8-ounce bag.
It's
And
so
it is
tall.
skinny. It looks like a throw pillow from a couch.
If you were to turn it sideways.
Yeah, doesn't it look like a pillow?
Yes.
Yeah, very strange. $4.79 the retail price. These were on sale at Target. My apologies to our listeners with misophonia, which apparently is a real thing.
I did not know that.
So here we go.
Look,
we have...
Here. The first one is burnt. Wait, wrong one.
No, that one wasn't burnt.
This one.
Oh, it has a small, small imperfection on the side. But Liz, big yellow bag, instantly iconic. You can see it from a million miles away on the store shelves. The big Lay's logo right in the middle that looks like a sun with a red ribbon around it.
Oh my God, I keep getting burnt ones.
Funny thing about potato chips, when you first open the bag up, the first smell is like a little bit farty, kind of.
I think that's with like every chip.
Yeah, these just smell like, they smell like fried potatoes.
A bag of farts. Oh my God, I spilled my water.
Shocking. Hey, Liz, speaking of the bag, I forgot to mention this earlier.
Earlier.
Oh my gosh. I forgot to mention this earlier. Fashion house Balenciaga, Lissa, had a handbag, a Lay's classic potato chips branded handbag that
Was
they
it at
released last year.
Coachella?
I did not see it at Coachella, but you could buy it, I think, on their website. Guess how much it retailed for, Alyssa?
What?
A handbag that was just basically a bag of Lay's potato chips with a strap on it.
Really?
Yeah, $1,800.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go.
Wait,
Single
Dad.
chip out of the bag.
Look, so there was someone that dressed up as Lay's potato chips for Coachella.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. I like that. She's wearing like a sort of like a green and yellow outfit to look like a Lay's sour cream and onion bag. So here, you've got a chip here.
Crunching.
I've got a chip here. These are unbroken chips. These things, listen, when I say that these are sliced thin, these are sliced so thin that you can see through them. I can hold it up to the light. It is transparent. I can see the light through it.
Let's do the drop test.
More like translucent.
Oh, they didn't
Wow,
break.
did not break. Good job.
It's not breaking.
Anyway, here we go. Lay's classic chips. So good. So classic. There's not much to these, Liz. It's just a standard taste of potatoes and oil and salt. Like I said, super thin, super salty, 170 milligrams of salt per 15 chip serving. So that's actually not terrible.
Wait, what is it? 100 what?
170 milligrams per serving, which is 15 chips.
So it's like about 11 milligrams of salt? Milligrams, was it? Per chip. That's kind of a lot of salt.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get when you eat potato chips. These things are not good for you. But I can see what your brother likes in these, Lissa.
Salty.
They're very salty. They're endlessly snackable. Like you can just keep digging into the bag over and over and over again.
Take them away.
Yeah, see? Slightly addictive, huh? Anyway, let's try some other ones here. We have Hers up next. I think we talked about old Mr. Herr, old James Herr, 1946, making his potato chips.
That guy kind of scares me.
The guy on the back of the bag? That's Ed Herr, the current chairman and CEO of Hers.
Ed Slay.
I liked Hers potato chips, Alyssa, because in the late 1980s, early 1990s, I believe there was a Philadelphia Phillies player whose name was Tommy Herr, and he had a partnership with Hers brands where I think their tagline was "Make Hers Yours" or something like that.
How original.
I don't know. I think that's pretty good. Anyway, here they are.
Smell.
This is a blue bag. That's a different smell.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
No.
So same thing here, potatoes, vegetable oil, and salt. 180 milligrams of sodium in 13 chips. So these should taste saltier. They are, I don't know, they look to be just about as thin as the Lay's potato chips, but
they get puffy.
These are a little puffier. They look less greasy somehow, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. They're not bad, but there is a different flavor to them.
Yeah.
Like they may have been fried in a different oil blend.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, even though there is more sodium in these, they don't taste as salty, do they?
Mm-mm.
No, they don't. They taste more potatoey, like more of a raw, earthy potato flavor than Lay's, which is sort of like more processed.
This is Earth Day, by the way.
Well, happy Earth Day to the world, I guess, to the Earth. I don't have a good segue for this either, but speaking of the Earth,
Utz.
here are some Utz potato chips, which are available on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Utz, the white
And
bag.
their bag is killing our earth with its plastic.
That's right. This is like a Mylar bag. Same thing here. Potatoes, vegetable oil, and salt. Utz potato chips, 95 milligrams of sodium in 20 chips. So a lot less for these lists. Let's see how the Utz bag of chips tastes. I like the Utz mascot that it has. The little,
That creepy girl.
the creepy little girl with no nose. She looks almost like a,
Wendy.
I don't know. She looks like something that would be in like one of those
Smell.
creepy horror games that your brother plays. These smell just like the hers chips, don't they?
Yeah.
I think they do. Yeah.
Oh, these are really thin.
Yeah. Again, very thin, a little bit bubbly. Also translucent.
There's like no salt to that.
Not as salty. Yeah. Not bad because of that by any means, but these also, it's tough to describe, Liz, but the difference between these and the Lay's is that when you bite into the Lay's chips, they are crispy. They like shatter in your mouth, and then you can continue to chew them in a way where every successive bite also shatters. What I've noticed from the hers and the Utz chips is that once you chew them, they sort of get ground into
Melt.
a little bit of mealiness between your molars. It's sort of a different sensation. There's a different mouthfeel to these. So they're not bad. None of these are bad. But they are, I think, distinguishable from each other. And finally, we have Wise chips. In what color would you say that is? Like a teal?
Yeah.
Teal bag, Wise Golden Original chips, potatoes, vegetable oil, and salt. 160 milligrams of sodium in 16 chips. So this one is the closest to Lay's so far.
Buy a chip away. Smell.
Wise the owl mascot on the bag. Same smell as hers and Utz, but different from Lay's. Lay's is a different immediate smell upon opening the bag.
What's it called, Dad?
I don't know.
I was just thinking about like names.
Oh, I got a good one. Look at this.
Like the different names of the chips, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about how my science teacher calls what are those things you look up really close detail? Microscope. She calls them microscopes.
What? It's an interesting phonetic pronunciation. Oh, these are super salty, aren't they?
These are good.
Yeah, these are really good. Again, the weird textural thing where they sort of get melty. They look to have less surface oil than the Lay's chips for some reason.
They're good.
This is like, the Wise chip is like a classic lunchbox chip, Alyssa.
Really?
Yeah, like if I was packing a lunch somewhere and I had just a nondescript bag of potato chips thrown in there, this is what I feel they would taste like. Or if you picked up like a box lunch somewhere, if you went on like a field trip at school, I think this is that chip. So let's bring back Lay's one more time.
All right, I have my ratings for them.
Before we hit the bliss point.
Yeah, these ones like don't melt.
No, they don't. That's so weird. And they have somehow they have a more pure potato flavor. Does that seem right? Like these taste closer to a French fry than any of the other chips, actually. Do you get that at all?
Yeah.
Well, Alyssa, let's hit the bliss point. What do you think? Let's get your final thoughts on all these different chips that we tried today. All classic plain
Okay.
potato chips.
So Lay's is an A, and then all the other ones are B minus.
Straight A? A flat?
Yeah.
And all the other ones are B minuses?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. I think that's pretty good. I would say Lay's Classic, A minus for me. I would say the Wise chips, also an A minus.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think I like both of the flavors, but they are a little bit different. But I think they're both around the same quality, I guess.
You know what I don't like about the Lay's bag?
What's that?
Like, if you look everywhere else, the printing always has like the red and dots, and it bothers me.
Oh, you're not happy with the quality of the print overlay on the bag.
No, it's like blurry, and I don't like it.
It looks like some of their looks like some of their color layers were misaligned. Yeah, but yeah, I would say Utz and hers are a C. Lay's, you know what? I'll say Lay's an A and Y's an A minus. I think that's more accurate.
Good idea.
So what do you think, Liz? Do you think Lay's has what it takes to dethrone Mexican Coke as the reigning defending undisputed champion of junk food?
Narclear.
Narclear is the official answer from the 12-year-old. Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, on a different day against a different competitor, perhaps. I mean, Lay's classic chips are a classic snack. I've used the word iconic a bunch of times, mostly in relation
She's
to the packaging.
She's an icon. She could girl boss me, and I would let her.
What?
And I would say thank you.
Well, I'm saying thank you to Lay's potato chips because they're really good. But, Alyssa.
What?
Your winner and still reigning defending undisputed champion of snacks, Mexican Coke.
Wow.
Yeah, it just wasn't happening today. You know what else is not happening today, Liz?
What?
The Oreo rule. We don't have any new Oreos.
Yeah.
But we do have to ask ourselves an important question, one that we ask each and every week. Will it deep fry? Can you deep fry
Wait, keep these here.
this week's snack?
Well, they're already deep fried.
Yeah, you don't have to. They are already deep fried. But Liz, unsurprisingly, of course, you can use crushed Lay's potato chips as a coating for other fried foods, like chicken or fish, for example.
Yeah.
Have you ever had potato chip crusted chicken?
Nope.
It's quite good. I've had chicken strips crusted in crushed potato chips before.
Really?
You know what else I've done before?
What?
Check out the back of the box, Liz.
Me too.
Yeah, and it's time to check out the back of the box, a weekly segment where we play a little game. Alyssa, would you like to play a game?
Sure.
This week's segment is Stop Copying Me.
Stop copying me.
On Stop Copying Me, we try to defy the advertising copy of a major brand. And this week, Liz, it's going to be a tough one. That's right, because Lay's potato chips ad copy is simple but devious, Alyssa. What is it?
Betcha can't eat one.
Betcha can't eat just one.
Oh.
I mean, that's kind of the important word there, right?
Just one.
Just one. Betcha can't eat just one. So Liz, let's try it. Let's eat just one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's one chip. They're so good. Liz, while we're torturing ourselves here, Betcha can't eat just one was the ad slogan for Lay's chips in 1963 by the ad men of Young and Rubicam. There was a TV campaign, because we know that Lay's was the first to advertise snacks on TV, and it was helmed by actor Bert Lahr. Liz, do you know who Bert Lahr is?
Nope.
He was the Cowardly Lion on The Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
Put 'em up, put 'em up. Remember Cowardly Lion?
There's no place like Mahomes.
Oh, boo.
No, but that was such a funny ad.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty good.
Dorothy was there and she was like, there's no place like Mahomes.
I do
There's
like
no place
Patrick
like
Mahomes quite a bit.
I like Patrick Mahomes.
I don't like that he beat the Eagles this year.
Yeah, and I don't like his brother.
Who's his brother?
He makes really weird TikToks.
Oh, so no one in my orbit then.
Yeah.
Liz, in one of the commercials, Bert Lahr plays two roles. He plays himself, actor Bert Lahr, and then he also plays the devil, like the literal Christian devil. And
Really?
yeah, because he's trying to tempt him with the bag of chips. There's this good gag. The devil poofs into the frame, and Bert Lahr says to him, "Where'd you come from? Don't answer that."
That's funny.
That is pretty good. I like that. That's a good dad joke. Anyway, the devil dares him to eat just one chip, and obviously he can't do it. And there were a few of those other oddly tempting character pieces. Bert Lahr as Eve, for example, from the Garden of Eden with a chip instead of an apple, and a serpent hanging from a tree with a large bag of Lay's.
Yeah. Dad, can I play our No Place Like Mahomes?
No, we know what it is.
No, but they might not.
If you don't know what it is, just go on TikTok and search hashtag Mahomes and No Place Like Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Liz, we talked about this earlier. There is a scientific name for mindless munching.
Yes.
Yeah, the act of eating without hunger into excess. It is called, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Hedonic hyperphagia.
Got it.
Yeah, the double H there. Hedonic hyperphagia.
Hee hee.
Oh my goodness. A well-placed hee-hee there, Alyssa. We talk about the bliss point a lot on the show. We have a whole segment that's titled after it. It's not just an abstract concept, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Yeah, sugar, fat, and salt actually bypasses the places in the brain that register fullness after eating, and it just kind of jumps over that, short circuits it, and heads right for the pleasure centers. Did you know, Liz, German scientists were actually able to observe the bliss point in lab rats?
Really?
Yeah, they put them inside MRI machines, and they started feeding them, guess what?
What?
Potato chips.
Potato chips.
Yeah, and the potato chips lit up the reward centers in their brain like Christmas lights. So it's not just apocryphal. It's a real thing that happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, Liz.
Yes.
How'd you do while we were talking about the ads? How many chips did you eat?
One.
You just had one, huh?
Yeah.
So, Liz.
We beat it.
You did it. You won. Stop copying me.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I put the bag of chips open and facing you on the table, and I laid out all of that research about advertising campaigns and hedonic hyperphagia to try and distract you so that you would mindlessly munch some chips. It didn't work.
I was too busy about Mahomes.
You were looking up Patrick Mahomes on TikTok. Liz,
Yes.
you know what did work?
What?
This show.
This show did work.
That's right. And this podcast should reach you in excellent condition. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. If you've got a question for us, you can write to the address on the label. That's junkfeudpod@gmail.com. Liz,
Yeah.
any final thoughts from you this week?
No.
No, of course not. This podcast has contained your recommended daily allowance of fun.
Fun.
For more, go to Twitter, Instagram, or wherever you choose to be social and find us at Junk Feud Pod. You can watch fun-sized reviews on YouTube, buy our merch on TeePublic, and don't forget to catch all the snaction each and every week wherever you listen to podcasts. Until we see you again, for Alyssa, I'm Mike.
Hasta la lana.
Don't get any on ya.
Bye. Hit him with the Riz.